All right. Welcome to our Elite Leaders Session 1 kickoff. I've been wanting to put together some presentations specifically geared toward leadership, and what better time than now when we're wrapping up the cycle, starting a brand new cycle. Those of you that have already have established teams, and those of you that are just looking to learn more, this is going to kind of have information from both sides, from the beginner's point of view, and then maybe some more advanced stuff that if you're new, you might not quite get it, but this is how you start to understand it. You start to hear the terminology, and you do the training, and you start dreaming and then applying it to your business. So thank you for joining. If you're on Zoom, you can open up your chat box. Make sure that you select all panelists and attendees when you type in there. And those of you on Facebook, feel free to comment and communicate within those comments, and I'll go back and see if there's any questions later. So those of you that have been with Avon for a few years, you might recognize this image. This was part of our coaching program that went into place. And so I thought I would reinvent that, sort of include it with my own material, and use that as a framework to come up with these sessions. I think there's about 6 of them, so I'll do them weekly, and I do open it up to my team as well as other representatives. So those of you that don't know me, I am obsessed with Avon. I've been doing it for 12 years, and I just can't get enough. I try to do my best traditionally through my LABC store, and then I try to build my online business, and I love the team aspect of the business, which is surprising because that was the area that I was always so hesitant about getting involved in. So here's some of our social media handles if you want to follow both the company and me. If you're gonna go back and watch this later, I did post the slides and a couple of worksheets in the files section of the Makeup Marketing Online Facebook group. So you may want to pause it, go and print those out and come back. I think you can always learn more when you take notes and really imprint it into your brain. If you are not yet a member of the social selling group, that is sort of the central location where Avon is doing everything now. So you definitely want to be a part of that. That is where they're hosting a lot of the Facebook Lives, the trainings. If you no longer see it on the Avon USA Rep page, that's because it has moved over here. And Avon Social has been replaced, so you also can find images and helpful marketing materials in the social selling group. Oops. Huh. Zoom's playing a little tone for me. Okay, so if you have not noticed yet, Avon has confirmed that the level that we hit by the end of this cycle will stay in effect until September 28th of next year. So that's really good news. That means that if you hit your goals, it's going to be extended all the way through September. So you will start earning at the level you achieve in the following campaign, and then it will last throughout all the way through September 28th of next year. So we are going through campaign 2 for the 2020 sales cycle. So campaign 1 and 2 will actually count towards that. And then the 2021 cycle starts in campaign 2. So campaign 2 is going to count for both 2020 and 2021. So you want to make that one a really good one. And you have through January 5th. So make sure that you note that and you start planning to hit the goal that you want to hit by the end of that campaign. So this is just an overview of the different commission levels based on sales. And this can be found, I think it's under Seller Central, and it says something about 2021 commission or 2021 update, something like that. So you can find that at a later time if you'd like. So we want you to definitely hit, if this is your first year, you've never hit a level, we definitely want you to hit Premier, if not President's Club. So Premier is going to be that 5,000 level. President's Club is going to be 10,000. There's a lot of perks of hitting those different levels, especially President's Club, where you're going to earn a guaranteed 40% commission on all of your beauty sales through 2021. So start planning now. Maybe you need to get in a fundraiser or some holiday parties. If you are far away from your goal, think about how you can sell to people in groups. And I know that that's even more challenging right now during COVID, but there is a virtual replacement for most of our techniques that we've used in the past. So there's also going to be some changes to the leadership compensation plan. So no changes until campaign 2, but let's take a look at our new chart. So you will notice that the leader requirement is out of there. So you don't have to have a bronze leader. You don't have to have a gold leader. This new chart is based on your total team sales, that personal amount, and the number of generation orders. They did increase the amount by 5% at the bronze leader and higher level. So this is good news. A lot of us upper leaders have had a rough year and have slid backwards, and having that leader requirement, I believe, makes it even harder to climb back up. I see a hand raised, so if you want to go ahead and comment in the chat box. So Amy is saying she thinks 24 is her best campaign since COVID hit. Yes, we have to readjust our expectations and our goals and really try our hardest, but also be understanding of what is happening and the struggles and challenges that we're all going through. I think Kathy had a question, unless that was an accident. I'll keep going. So if you're new to leadership and this chart seems confusing, let me try it for you. So once you have one person below you and they place an order, you're going to be considered a promoter. You have to submit a $50 order or higher in order to earn your 3% sponsoring bonus from that team member. There also, another big change that they're taking out is that calculation where they only pay on 70% sales. So this change should be good for most of us. I'm gonna grab a cough drop because I feel that tickle in my throat already. I'm pretty much recovered, but talking a lot is probably gonna irritate my throat. All right, let's go on. Do you guys have any questions? Okay. I think it's going to be a good change overall. And also, Avon is going to help us. So you guys all want to get to Bronze Leader, because at Bronze Leader, you have a chance to get nested team members under you. So Avon is going to, they already have started assigning new representatives to a mentor. And so that's awesome. No longer are new reps going directly under the company. Avon is splitting them up and distributing them to qualified leaders. So how do you qualify? You have to be a bronze leader or higher. And then you also have to be putting in the work to get some personal recruits. So a personal recruit is going to be someone that you get through your own efforts. And you have to have 2 with an order within the last 3 rolling campaigns, and you will start getting team members assigned to you. I know I've talked to Cheryl. She's had 5 or 6 new representatives put under her. So she's really excited. I think that's going to help build excitement and re-engage for certain leaders. So what do we have to give up in order to get that? Some of the bonuses are going to be going away. So that would include the title advancement bonus, but you have through campaign 2 to take advantage of this. So you guys just advance in title, and if it's your first time, you can earn a huge amount of bonus money. And I have to add right there that we went to the Grand Victoria on Sunday, which I like to gamble just for fun. I don't do the tables or anything, but I do slots. Rob doesn't do any of it. So he's always just like watching over my shoulder. But I won big, you guys, on a slot machine. I had bet about $60 and was losing, and then sat down and played $4 on a slot machine and won $2,800. It was so awesome. I was just sitting there with my mouth open the whole time. I won like 400 free games, so it just kept going. I think that was my birthday present to make up for all of the bad stuff that's happened this year. Anyhow, sorry to go off on a tangent, but that was pretty exciting. That may never happen again in my life, so I had to share. All right. So these are the higher levels where you can earn up to a $2,500 bonus if you make Gold Leader. Have you guys seen the Studio 1886? Have you seen the virtual tour? Anyone? Yes? All right. I saw Charlotte wrote before. Let me see what you said. 240. Okay, cool. So you can go to studio1886.com and take the virtual tour. So this place looks amazing. It is a center that is brand new. It has a meeting room. It has a conference room. It has small one-on-one rooms. So I'm not sure exactly how that process is going to work. If you're going to be able to reserve it for team meetings or to sign someone up, but it is super cool. A live display of all of our products. So you can go in there, you make an appointment, you can take your customer in there, take someone that wants to sign up in there. It really helps bring the business to life when you have the products in hand. So go check that out. If you are in, I think it's near LA. So if you are near there, you can already go on and make a reservation to take a tour. I know that Trisha Thomas from our team has already reserved her spot. Okay. You guys are gonna have to be a little patient with me. I'm starting to clog up a little. All right. So I mentioned that we had a coaching program, and I was able to dig up some of the material. And I think it's great to have a basis to start with. And then I can add in some of the things that I like to do that either I've gotten from other representatives or just kind of came up with myself. And when something works, I usually stick with it and add on when I can. So I encourage you to go through that worksheet and really answer these questions. I know they're a little cheesy, and you know, you're probably like, Emily, I've answered that 100 times, but your needs and your wants and your whys change as you grow, as you go through different stages of life. So I encourage you to kind of go through this again. What do you want in life? What do you not want? So I answered it myself. I just did it the other day. And how has your Avon business changed your life in a positive way? So I kind of said like the big picture things, gives me purpose, unlimited income potential. And then at the bottom, more of the material things. We've been able to move into a new home. I've gotten a new car. So don't just think about physical things, but what kind of happiness and freedom does this business bring you? You always have to include that when you're looking at how this business benefits your life. This is the sheet called, what is the sheet called in the files? It is called the application guide. So it's like a kickoff application guide, and that's in the files of Makeup Marketing Online Facebook group. Okay. Why do you have an Avon business? I have it mostly because I wanted to prioritize my time around my family, not have a job and then have to fit my family in when I can. I wanted to earn income for my family, be able to travel, have residual income. So that's the beautiful part about leadership is once you stop, you're still gonna have money coming in. So that's a huge difference from the sales side of it. Once you stop selling, that's when that profit's gonna stop. Excuse me. I love the creativity and being an entrepreneur. I love the community. I love that I can help change lives through the opportunity. What do I want? Why do I have an Avon business? At this point, I would love to someday put in an in-ground pool, a new truck for Rob, and then if we're looking like really, really big picture, maybe a boat and a summer home someday. It's good to always dream bigger than what you could possibly ever imagine you could do. So how does running your Avon business make you feel? It makes me feel proud and successful, inspiring, excited, sky's the limit, recognized and competitive. I like a little competition. And so when I was decorating my office for the new house, that's how I wanted to feel when I walked in here. So maybe even take it to the point where you're creating an environment where you have the feelings that you want to feel when you're working on your Avon business. So for me, having that work-life balance is so important. And so I think it's great when you prioritize based on your values. So if I always want my health and my family first, I have to make sure that I'm not working and so stressed out that I'm not able to give to my family. So that's what I mean by making sure that it aligns with your values. Don't create dependent team members or customers. I am guilty of being a people pleaser, and I do have a hard time saying no to people. But what I've learned as I've started interacting with more people, more customers, more team members, it becomes more demanding, and you have to be able to say no. So teach your team to be self-sufficient and don't just give everything away. We're in this to make money, and we have to make smart business choices. Work your business how you want. Have fun and grow. Create routines and repeat. Make sustainable changes. So I like to tell my team to not try to add 5 new things to their schedule in a week, but add one change that you're going to be able to stick with. So maybe that's recognizing your team every campaign. I would rather you commit to that and be consistent about it than one campaign try like 10 different things and then the next campaign do nothing. So try to make sustainable changes that are going to impact your business. Analyze your results so you can focus on the right activities. Prioritize based on your return. So we'll talk about that a little bit later, but you want to look at what's bringing you the most joy, what's bringing you the most money, and then prioritize on your weekly and daily schedule based on those big picture things. Add services and helpers or employees as you grow so you can work on the money-making activities. So that's huge because there comes a point where you are maximized. You can do no more. And so that's when you start hiring people, or maybe you do something on trade where you start giving over some of those monotonous activities that need to be done but aren't necessarily growing your business. Yes, Amy, I saw that. So Amy spent a few days setting up units for her team so they can find everything in one spot and not get the same questions all the time. I can appreciate that. I would do that too if I had one new representative come to me and say, hey, how come we don't have the pink order books anymore? Instead of just emailing her the order form, I would go and send it to all my new reps because chances are if one's asking, the rest are wondering too. How do you pay helpers? So that's up to you. You can obviously do it monetarily by an hourly rate. You could do it by how many books they get stamped or whatever that is. You could also do it on trade. So that would be my preferred way, is to do it by trade of product. And that's going to probably be cheaper for you to pay them through product than it would be to pay like an hourly amount. Okay, so use a planner and write to-do lists. That's something that you have to do because I know you think like if you're not writing it down and you're just getting done what's in your head, that you're being productive, but it's amazing when you write it down and can like just really fly through it, how much you can get done. What area of the business do you want to grow, and focus on that first. I need like a co-presenter because I'm just still getting over some of the symptoms of COVID here. Okay. So on that assessment, you're also going to be able to go through and check where you think you are in these different skills. And that's going to help you identify where you need to grow. So if you see here, I tend to work on the area of the business first that's most profitable to me. So with leadership, my check can vary quite a bit. So monthly, it's been 4,000. In some great months, it's been 10,000 and sometimes even 12. So I'd like to get back to there. Online sales, I make about 2,500 to 4,000 commission per month. This is revenue here. Traditional sales, I make about 8 to 12,000 in revenue, but the profit margin is very slim on my traditional sales. So that is my least area of focus. Okay, so this is on your worksheet, and this is just going to be where you go in and do a self-assessment. Okay, goal setting. I'm pretty challenged at that. I have a long ways to go. Or I know what I need to do, I just need to do it. That would be inconsistent. Or I got this. I'm so good at goal setting, okay? So go through there and do your check marks. That way you can learn where you have the most growth potential. And it can help give you confidence too. Oh, wow, I didn't realize I was consistent on as many things as I am. Good job, me. Okay, so let's take a look at the 3 different opportunities and the advantages of each. Advantages of team sales. So for me, it's the most lucrative part of the business. You can build residual income. There is bonus money potential. And even though some of those bonuses are going away, we still have that percentage commission that we're going to earn on those team members. More than just financially rewarding, it's intrinsic motivation. You know, wow, this person didn't even have a retirement plan when I met them. And now they're able to quit their full-time job and do Avon full-time. So those are the kinds of changes you can make in team members' lives that just make you feel so good and warm and fuzzy. And that's something that money can't provide. So it's more of a team environment. You don't feel like, I'm doing this all by myself and I'm not getting anywhere. You work together as a team and you really can create large results when there's multiple people working towards the same goal. You can create a legacy business. So I'm going to have to work on talking one of the kids into taking over my business. And that's something that you really don't think about before you start the leadership side of the business. But you can create it so that your children take it over when you retire. And that's happened a few different times with leaders that are with the company now. So it's cool to have a legacy business. And you can develop confidence and empower others. Okay, advantages of online sales. More likely to have repeat sales. Higher average sale amount. Requires less manual labor. Open 24/7. So you can be earning in your sleep and on vacation. Charlotte, so Charlotte's asking, what if a rep dies? So that's where you would want to make sure that you have a co-applicant on your account so that if anything happened to you, the business could be transferred over to that co-applicant. So if you do not have one and you want to have one, you should be able to call customer service to get direction on how to do that. So So online sales opens up the entire nation for you instead of just your small local area. There's less overhead than traditional sales. Online marketing can pull in customers that are ready to purchase. And then trends of shopping online continue to increase. Future driven, I created this slide way before COVID. So things that keep happening just reinforce that you need to build online because that is the way of the future. So what are the advantages of traditional or face-to-face sales? It's the quickest to close a sale based on an already established relationship. The brand power, the familiarity of Avon and our products really helps be able to sell face-to-face. You don't have to convince them of the product or the product quality because most people know Avon. They know Skin's So Soft, and they know that we have great skincare. Brochure and sampling distribution costs less, so you don't have to mail it. Get to know the customer better and can more easily make product recommendations. Customers can see, feel, and smell the products, and then it produces revenue and profit immediately. Any questions so far? I'm kind of struggling to do all this talking. Any questions? I'm doing great, thank you. I should have done like the neti pot before I did. I didn't realize I would stuff up so much. All right. So if you want to build a team, if you want to be growing, you always have to be recruiting. Always. Every week, every day. You just have to. We're in a business where there's high turnover, and so you're always gonna have to be adding new people. So don't say, I wanna build a huge team and I wanna be one of the best leaders in my area, and then not spend any time recruiting, because those two things don't add up. So you have to think about the way of recruiting that works best with your style, your personality. So sharing the opportunity. An example of that is always saying to buy or sell. So you just always want to put that in their mind that they could become a representative. Be a walking ad. So having a button on, or having an Avon hat, or brochures kind of hanging out of your purse. You'd be surprised how many people will ask you, can I see a catalog? Spend time daily on recruiting activities. Go for no. That's easier said than done. And I tell you, the more people that you get involved with, the crazier the responses become. I won't go into detail there of my recent event, but just know that you're gonna get a lot of no's, and those no's are not gonna hurt you. Just kind of build up that thick skin. Think of a shield, like, okay, you know, your no is gonna bounce back to you, but I'm gonna find the next person who's gonna tell me yes. So just kind of build yourself up to be able to take the rejection, because it's just part of recruiting. Know your weaknesses, become your own coach, and talk to yourself. So don't be so hard on yourself. Make sure that you're recognizing what you're doing well and where you can improve. Push that comfort zone. You have to, especially recruiting. I think that's something that a lot of people are uncomfortable with. But when you make it more of a consultative approach, and that you're helping someone solve a problem, it becomes less intimidating and more exciting. So be a source of knowledge, inspiration, and happiness for those around you. If you're always on Facebook complaining about how you don't feel good or how your life sucks, people are not going to want to rally around you. So watch your attitude, watch how you portray yourself. You don't have to always portray yourself, oh, I have this perfect life and nothing ever goes wrong, but you don't want to be a Debbie Downer. So show how much fun you have, and don't even ask people. Don't even say, hey, do you want to join me? The more fun you have and the more you share, the more people will start approaching you. Avoid distractions. So focus on being efficient, productive, and doing money-making activities. Protect your time from interruptions. You are your own CEO, so protect your time and your schedule like you are running a big company. Find your favorite way of recruiting and become an expert on it, and then duplicate your efforts to your training your team. And follow up with leads as soon as possible, and try different ways to reach them, because everyone responds differently. So I like to do a call, a text, and an email, and then repeat, and then repeat. So you never know when you're going to get a hold of someone or when the timing is going to be right. I need like the Jeopardy music while I'm taking my breaks. Okay, so I did put in here, I am a numbers girl, so I have lots of numbers from my past, and I'm so glad I do now, because you can look back and see how my income from leadership has grown in such a short amount of time. So 2020 is just where I'm at right now with just the leadership side of the business. So I know it's a little awkward to be sharing financial information, but I always found that really inspiring when I was climbing, to see what's possible, what's my potential, what could I be making at this. So to see just in 7 years that I've gone from 3,000 to 6 figures a year is really cool. And I know I'm supposed to like include disclaimers on these sorts of slides. So my results may not be typical. Mine have possibly grown faster because I've done so much online. Not to say that it's not possible for you guys. So always dream big and never doubt yourself. So here you can see how many recruits I recruited during each year, how many team members we ended with, and how many leaders are on Team Momentum. So you'll see that you need a big pool. You need to bring in a lot of people to keep that team number growing and to always be creating new leaders. And I know one of the biggest questions is, well, Emily, I feel like I'm talking to myself. I can't get them to engage with me. They don't talk to me. That's unfortunately just part of recruiting and leadership, especially with the free sign up. It's making it hard to get people motivated to do something and make something of their business. And that's not everyone, but it is about half of people. So just know that. Sometimes I think it's easier just to know the bad news ahead of time. But you can see how Team Momentum has grown over the years and how exciting that can be. What's the difference between recruits and team members? So recruits means, that I recruited them Team members is how many people I had left at the end of the year. So I may have recruited 708 people, but maybe only 400 of them were left as team members by the end of the year. So as a leader, it's our job to be a resource for our team members, not necessarily to tell them how to do everything and which way they need to do it, but where do they go to find it and how can they become successful without you? Because that's really the goal, right? You don't want to be a mom to your whole team. You want to teach them how to be successful and how to grow their business and become resourceful themselves. So we have a few different areas where we always want to show new representatives. We have the business calendar. There's a new representative welcome webinar that happens every other week. We have Avon University, our Beauty Buzz that gets posted every Monday. We have the virtual sales meeting that takes place monthly. We have a marketing hub, a fundraising hub, and then we also have a shareable video gallery. And just recently, they have put together some campaign priorities. So I love this. It's a checklist and you don't have to think, oh, what should I do this time? What should I do this week? And then maybe you just never do anything. Here's a checklist where you can go through and do this every campaign. So this is in Avon University. And I also posted the file of the campaign checklist in our files in Makeup Marketing. So go in there and print this off and see how many you can check off. So this is the Staying Socially Savvy calendar. And someone in our group pointed out that the dates are incorrect for the selling starts. So besides that, take a look at all the ideas and use all these tools that Avon is putting together. They have never provided us with so much training and so much support. So make sure that you are utilizing that and doing it with your team members. So you can also create your own sort of onboarding program. So I have, I'm redoing it right now, but if you go to my YouTube channel, I have 5 videos for onboarding and I send them out every couple days to my new representatives. And I like to break it up into pieces and also do really short videos. I used to do like hour-long videos. Now they're more like 2 to 10 minutes so that they just have little snippets and can do different tasks, just a day at a time. So come up with your own welcome email. It doesn't have to be an email series. It could just be your own welcome email. Maybe you like paper. Maybe you do a welcome packet as well. Try to come up with your own sort of welcoming system and helping them to really get started and off to a running start. You can also send them a card or a brochure. This is Campaign Mailer. If you guys aren't familiar with that, that is a service that's run by reps that will mail catalogs for you. So I am very careful about giving catalogs to my team members because you will find when you start being generous and you start doing things for people, it does become an expectation, which becomes a problem because you don't want your generosity to become an expectation. So just be careful when you're doing things like this that they don't expect you to be sending them a book every campaign. So we want to definitely share the campaign calendar. And then this is that new order form that can be found on youravon.com. I think it's found on the page where you go to browse products, view brochure, or shop brochure. It's called like the cancellation policy. I don't know why it's called that, but that's where the order form is. And many new reps are looking for that pink order book, so make sure you supply them with this. Terry learned the generosity thing the hard way. Is that what you're talking about? There are templates on the Avery website that can be used for some do-it-yourself business tools to get started with when you don't have all the money in the world. So that is still live. I went and checked that. We no longer get the paper What's New, but there is the digital one and there is the online version. You can always email your team, like save each page and then just email them all the pages of the What's New. You can do that through Vibe even. I don't know why, you know, they're trying to be more green and environmentally friendly by getting rid of some of that paper. They're trying to be less wasteful. And I think just because it does make more sense for us to just be able to print it out when we need more. I think they're just trying to provide things that we can do ourselves instead of them always providing it for us. The paper material gets really costly and is wasteful. Okay, so this is my first steps of activation. You want them to get registered, start their training, set up their website, and then also get enrolled in direct deposit. Those are some good first steps. And then also making sure that they update their communication preferences. Invite them to your Facebook group. So hopefully you have your own little team Facebook group. And if you have a small team, maybe it's going to be you talking all the time and not getting response. But even right now, sometimes I don't get responses, but that's because I do post a lot. But you have to think, like when my team was smaller, I'd always think, what would I want to be getting from a leader right now? So think about it that way. And even if you get no reaction or no response, keep doing it. You'll eventually get some. Okay, also you used to only get the What's New if you placed an order in the prior campaign. Oh, but the digital version gives all reps access to this. Cool. Good point, Bridget. So you want to get them to Avon University as soon as possible. Just a look at, this is a little bit older, so I don't know if those materials are still in there, but example of the new rep training. It's really important as a leader to know the ins and outs of the Pathway to Premier program. So I really like this slide more because I think it's just a visual for me of the different ways that they can earn in the Pathway to Premier. And they've even added to that now where there's a mini milestone bonus and they get free lip balms. So here is the chart, and I think it's updated now if you go under the Pathway to Premier, where they can earn a total of up to 66% if they take full advantage of the program. So there are tools right now for you to use to leverage to get your new representatives to get started. So first of all, if they place their first order of any size, they're going to get an A box. Now, that's easy, right? But so is the $60 order, which would then give them also a $10 credit to use on their second campaign and a free full-size Dr. Belmer's cream. So that's going to be just if their first order is 60 or more. If you can get them up to that 200 marker, that's where they're going to earn a stepping stone bonus. So that's what I really go for, is the 200. But I don't leave out that they'll get a free A box if they even just order their brochures. So I use these slides to kind of show a visual of what they could order to get the different levels. So you're welcome to use them. I did post all of the slides in a photo album in Makeup Marketing, and I am giving you my permission to use any of the pictures with your team members. What I did was kind of looked at the campaigns that we were in at the time and came up with my own recommendations of what products they may want to buy as demos. You're welcome. All right. So level 2, order 60 or more, and then they get the free A box, $10 credit, and a free full-size Dr. Belmer's cream. I also did videos to line up with these to kind of show them what they would need to order in order to get the different earnings levels. And then Avon has added the mini milestone bonus. So that's another area as a leader that you can really coach your team members and help them track. So maybe after 3 campaigns, they're already at $450. As their leader, make sure that you're watching that so you can say, hey, in $50 more, you're gonna get a $50 cash bonus and free 50 lip balms. So people will get really excited about that. Who doesn't love Avon lip balms, right? So this is what I do, and this has really helped me this year. I've been really consistent about doing this new rep incentive, and I started with campaign 1, and I've done it. I still have to get out my campaign 23 achievers, but I have kept up on that all year. So I'm very proud that I've been able to do that, and it has worked. I currently have the most qualified representatives, new representatives in the country. So yay, go Team Momentum. That's awesome. And I do love rewarding performance. So what I do is I send out an email, sometimes a text, saying, hey, you know, try to get your first order of 200 or more by this date, and you'll not only get your $20 bonus, you know, the A box, all that stuff, you'll also get Emily Happy Meal. So that works, you guys. Bribery sometimes works, and it's something I really enjoy doing. Just I'll put together, I'll buy A boxes and use products from there. I'll buy samples, include them. I'll include flyers, sometimes brochures, but those get really expensive to mail. I'll take trips to the Dollar Tree and that little cheap section at Target, and you can find really cute stuff there. That really means a lot to your new representative, and just kind of gets them off on the right foot with you being their leader. So you can encourage that first order to be 200 or more just by them going around their house and seeing what they could replace that's in their home with Avon products. Especially now, we have all the cleaning products, we have So much toothpaste and toothbrushes. We have shampoo, conditioner, deodorant. We have so many essentials that it's really a great time to be encouraging them to replace the products at home with Avon products so they can start being their own testimonial. And I think people really appreciate that. They can tell when you're being genuine or when you're just being salesy. If you haven't tried the product, I mean, I'll be straight up with people and say, hey, I haven't tried it, but let me look up the reviews. And I think when you offer feedback that's more genuine and truthful instead of like convincing them to buy it, people really appreciate that. And then they don't get mad if for some reason they would be disappointed with it because you didn't bend the truth to get them to buy it. Do we have Avon postcards anymore? I haven't looked in the Vistaprint store, but that's where I would look, is in your Avon perks and look up Vistaprint to see if there's postcards in there. Otherwise, it would be pretty easy to create them using some of Avon's images to create them through Vistaprint, or Overnight postcards are my two preferred vendors there. Creating your own incentives. So I just got that card from Steve Bosson. I have an AC card, is Avon Concierge. So that's new this year. And that's a benefit of being $1 million team, is I now will have a $5,000 budget to do what I want with my team to reward them next year. So I've decided we're gonna go to the Wisconsin Dells and have a long weekend over Labor Day. And the way my team can achieve is by being a bronze ambassador or President's Club or higher by the end of campaign 26. So that's gonna be fun. It's like, there are a lot of kids there, but it's also kind of like an adult Disney World. So I'm excited for that. I've also been doing campaign incentives just to add some excitement, to be able to give away some of our new products. So the way I work it is I break up my team into Pathway to Premier reps and then established reps. And then I gave away one of each of these products to Pathway to Premier, and then one of each to established. You entered by every 100 in sales you turned in. So if you turned in 500 in sales, you got 5 entries, and then I do a drawing at the end of the campaign. So just because Avon doesn't have any sales incentives right now, doesn't mean that you can't create your own little ones for your team. You have to be careful because there was one point where I was rewarding, and my team is probably going to be like, that was awesome. At one point a couple of years ago, I gave away like a dual elixir to anyone who had over 400 in sales. And so it was kind of breaking the bank for Emily. And so again, not wanting your generosity to become an expectation. I've learned my lessons that sometimes I've gone too far. You don't want your team to be dependent on you giving something for them to do well. That's not the point of incentives, but they are fun and they can add some excitement to the campaign. And just some excitement on the team for doing giveaways. So this is my campaign 24 sales incentive. And it's good to definitely come up with your own rules. Make sure that you're thorough so that people understand how they can achieve. I also all year have been doing a drawing for recruiting. So every single day I've drawn a name of my leaders who have recruited someone. And you guys have recruited someone almost every day. I have a few days where there's no team members added, but I'm actually amazed how many prizes I've been able to give away because we almost always have a new team member every day. And then lastly is my leadership advancement incentive. So this, my team members, if they advance in title or retitle, which Terry, you still need to give me your $100 free product. They get to pick out $100 worth of free Avon products from me. So I liked the idea of also including the retitle because it's hard to come back when you've fallen. So I wanted to make sure to reward that as well. They have to be bronze ambassador or higher. And I've already been able to do it for Sarah. And then this campaign, I am doing it for Bonnie and Terry. So let's go, guys. Diane, what's your most productive recruiting method? That's really hard to say because I do have so many different methods that I do. Sometimes it's hard to measure where they're coming from. But I can say that the most traffic that I generate comes from my blog. You know, I don't know, maybe my videos are more effective, so maybe I have a higher conversion rate on those. Those sort of stats I don't really know, but I do know that compared to social media, my blog brings in way more traffic. So you have to be careful. A lot of people like to hang out on Facebook, but if that's not where your business is being generated, it doesn't make sense for you to spend all day on there. Okay. Good. So I'm right on time. Leadership priorities. So what are some ideas of what you can do? Maybe if you're in the beginning or you still have some growing to do. Guiding new reps to Avon University and through the pathway to Premier. Recognition is so important. If you only do one thing as a leader, make sure it's recognition. Providing sales and recruiting tips for upcoming campaigns. I love how much training Avon is putting out there, but there's also a different perspective from a representative. So make sure that you're also offering tips and advice and tools to your team, not just telling them, go do it. Mary says, I do like your short videos because it keeps us up to date. Good. Thank you for that feedback. Encouraging use of social media, training on programs, incentives, and news, tracking pathway to Premier. So maybe you want to do that every campaign with a text and an email. I do try to do that with both programs, so like the sales program and then the pathway to Premier. Oh my gosh, I'm getting so stuffy. Oh dear Lord, the things I do when I'm on my calls with you guys. I just like to keep it real. Sometimes I'm not the most professional, but hopefully you guys can bear with me. All right, and encouraging meeting and event attendance. So maybe you want to do a drawing. Hey, if you guys attend the virtual sales meeting, I'll put you all into a drawing and I'll draw someone gets a free bubble bath. Thank you, Jenny. It's been a year, man. I'm ready for this year to be over. Start over. I need a new page. All right, so we'll end it with a quote here. A smooth sea never made a skilled sailor. So I don't think any of us could have predicted all of the craziness of this year. And depending on your own individual experience, it could have been a crazy personal year too. So, just give yourself some credit for still being in business, still trying your hardest, showing up for this webinar. I appreciate you guys. I see that we have almost 50 people on here still. So that makes me happy. I love to teach and I love to interact and engage with you guys. I know I haven't been able to do that as much as I wanted to this year, but that's an area that I can grow in. So thank you guys so much for attending. Again, those slides, the worksheets, it's all in the files area of Makeup Marketing Online Facebook group. And then I will be sending out the recording. If you want to go back through any of it, you can fast forward through my snotty nose parts. All right, you guys, have a good night, and I'll send you the invite for next week. All right, bye-bye.